Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So today's lesson is the continuation of the last lesson that we did on mu'tal, which is weak verbs. So we are going through some examples where we can see some changes in muta'allul lam and naqis, where the weak letter is in the third kalima. So the verb that we're discussing here is da'a yad'u, which is in bab nasara, which means to call. So in fi'alul madi, we have da'a, he called. So the original word here is da'awa. So the last letter here, last root letter here is wa, which has been dropped, and we get da'a. Then we have da'awa, which is they both called. Here again, there are some changes. We have da'awa plus alif, which makes it da'awa. Here again, the original lam kalima reappears. Then we have da'aw, they all called male. Here again, we have some changes. We have da'awa plus wa with a sukun. So the original lam kalima is dropped and only the other waw is kept. So we get da'aw. Then we have da'at, she called, which goes through some changes. We have da'a plus ta with a sukun. So again, we have two sukuns together, which is difficult to pronounce. So we get da'at, sorry, which is pronounced da'at. So we have da'at, she called, da'ata, they both called, da'auna, they all called, da'auta, you called, da'autuma, you both called, da'autum, you all called, male, da'auti, you called, female, da'autuma, you both called, female, da'autunna, you all called, female. Da'autu, I called, da'auna, we called. Then in fi'l al-mudari, the present tense in the marfu form, we have yad'u. So yad'u again, the dhamma in the lam kalima here is dropped and we get yad'u. Instead of yad'u, we get yad'u. Yad'u, he is calling. Yad'uwani, they both are calling. Yad'una, they all are calling. Yad'una here again goes through some changes. We have yad'uwu plus the waw with a sukun plus na. So here the original lam kalima is dropped and we get yad'un. Then we have tad'u, she calls, tad'uwani, they both call, yad'una, they all call, female, tad'u, you call, male, tad'uwani, you both call, male, tad'una, you all call, male. Then we have tad'een. Here again, tad'ina, which means you call, female. We have some changes here where tad'uwu plus ya with a sukun plus na. Here the original lam kalima, the wu, is dropped and we get tad'uina. So it is not possible for a dhamma to come before a ya, before a ya with a sukun. So therefore the ain gets a kasara. Therefore we pronounce it as tad'een. You call, female. Tad'uwani, you both call, female. Tad'una, you all call, female. Ad'u, I call, nad'u, we call. Then in the mansoob form, we have yad'uwa, yad'uwa, yad'u, tad'uwa, tad'uwa, tad'una, sorry, yad'una, tad'uwa, tad'uwa, tad'u, تدعي تدعوا تدعون أدعو ندعو. Then in the majzum form, which is the jasif case, which comes mostly before and after a negation, like lam or ma, we have yad, yad'u. So here again we have some changes. So yad'u and waw has a sukun. This is the original letter, but the waw, the original lam kalima, is dropped and we get yad'u. Then we have yad'uwa, yad'u, tad'u, تدعوا يدعون تدعو تدعوا تدعو تدعي تدعوا تدعون أدعو ندعو. Then in فعل الأمر, the command verb, uh, we see that from فعل المضارع تدعو, it changes to أدعو because the first letter ta is dropped and the last letter waw gets a sukun. So here, instead of getting the sukun, the waw itself is dropped. So therefore, this is how it looks: dal with a sukun and ain with a dhamma. So it is not possible for us to pronounce this because the first vowel root letter does not have uh, a vowel. So therefore, we need to add a hamzatul wasl, which will make it ud'u. Ud'u, ud'uwa, ud'u, ud'i, ud'uwa, ud'una. Then we have some changes in muta'allul lam and naqis. Again, the third root letter, the weak letter coming in the third root letter, for the word baka yabki, which is in bab darab. So the word baka yabki means to cry. So in fi'lul madi, the past tense, baka, which means he cried. So the original word is bakaya, which is changed to baka. So baka, bakaya, they both cried male. So bakaya again is bakaya plus alif. The original lam kalima reappears here and we get bakaya instead of baka. Then we have bakau, which is they all cried, male. So this again is bakaya plus waw with a sukun. So here the original lam kalima is dropped. The ya is dropped and we get bakau. Then we have bakat, she cried. That again baka plus ta with a sukun becomes bakat, which is two sukuns again, which is difficult to pronounce, therefore it becomes bakat. Then we have bakata, they both cried, female. Bakaina, they all cried, female. Bakaita, you cried, male. Bakaituma, you both cried, male. Bakaitum, you all cried, male. Bakaiti, you cried, female. Bakaituma, you both cried, female. Bakaitunna, you all cried, female. Bakaitu, I cried. Bakaina, we cried. Then in fi'l al-mudari, the present tense, in the marfu form, we have yabki. He is crying. So this again goes through some changes. We have yabkiyu as the original word, where the dhamma on the lam kalima is dropped and we get yabki. Yabki, he is crying. Yabkiyani, they both are crying. Yabkuna, they all are crying. This again goes through some changes. We have yabkiyu plus waw with a sukun plus ana. So the original lam kalima here is dropped and we get yabkiyuna, which is, you cannot have a kasra before a waw. So therefore it is changed to a dhamma. So you get yabkun. Then we have tabki. She cries. Tabkiyani, they both cry. Yabkina, they all cry. Tabki, you cry male. Tabkiyani, you both cry male. Tabkuna, you all cry male. Tabkina, she cries, sorry, you cry female. So this again goes through some changes where we have tabkiyu plus a ya with a sukun plus a na. So the original ya kalima is dropped and we get tabkina. So we have tabkina, you cry female. Tabkiyani, you both cry female. Tabkina, you all cry female. Abki, I cry. Nabki, we cry. And in the mansoob form, we have yabkiya, yabkiya, yabku, tabkiya, tabkiya, yabkina, tabkiya, tabkiya, tabku, tabki, tabkiya, tabkina, abki, nabki. Then in the majzum form, which is justif case, we have baiki. So here again we can see that the last ya, the original lam kalima is dropped and we get baiki. Baiki, baikiya, baiku, tabki, tabkiya, yabkina, tabki, tabkiya, tabku, tabki, tabkiya, tabkina, abki, nabki. Then when we come to fi'l al-amr, which is a command verb, again it goes through the changes from fi'l al-mudari, tabiki, where the ta is dropped, and the lam kalima, which is the ya, is dropped. And we get this where the ba first letter has a sukun. So therefore we need to add a hamzatul wasl and it becomes ibki. Ibki, ibkiya, ibku, ibki, ibkiya, ibkina. Then let's go and see some changes in muta'allul lam, mu'talul lam and naqis, again in the last root letter. This time let's look at an example from Bab Fataha, which is anaha yanha. So naha yanha means to forbid. So when we say in fi'l al-madi, the past tense, we have naha, he forbade. So naha is actually nahaya, which is changed to naha. Nahaya, they both forbade. So nahaya is again nahaya plus alif. So the original lam kalima reappears again. Then we have nahaw, they all forbade. So nahaw again is nahya plus wa with a sukun. So the original lam kalima here is dropped and we get nahaw. Then we have nahat, she forbade. So nahat is again nahai plus ta with a sukun. Again we get two sukuns together, which is difficult to pronounce, so we get nahat. Then we have nahata. They both forbade, female. Nahaina, they all forbade, female. Nahaita, you forbade, male. Nahaituma, you both forbade, male. Nahaitum, you all forbade, male. Nahaiti, you forbade, female. Nahaituma, you both forbade, female. Nahaitunna, you all forbade, female. Nahaitu, I forbade. Nahaina, we forbade. Then we have fi'al al-mudari, where we have yanha, he forbids. So yanha again goes through some changes where the dhamma on the lam kalima is dropped and then the ya here is changed again back to a yadaya. So we have yanha, he forbids. Yanhayani, they both forbid. So yanhayani is again yanhayu plus alif plus noon, which is then changed to yanhayani, where the original lam kalima reappears. Then we have yanhauna, they all forbade. This again goes through some changes. We have yanhayu with a waw plus a waw with a sukun plus a na. So here the lam kalima here is dropped and we get yanhauna. Then we have tanha, she forbids. Tanhayani, they both forbid. Yanhaina, they all forbid, female. Tanha, you forbid, male. Tanhayani, you both forbid, male. Tanhauna, you all forbid, male. Tanhaina, you forbid, female. Tanhayani, you both forbid, female. Tanhaina, you all forbid, female. Anha, I forbid. Nanha, we forbid. Then in the mansoob form, again we have yanha. So here the lam kalima does not get a fatha. And then we have yanhaya, yanhaw, tanha, tanhaya, yanhaina, tanha, tanhaya, tanhaw, tanhay, tanhaya, tanhaina, anhay, nanhay. Then in the majzoom form, which is a jasif case, we get yanha. So here again it goes through some changes where the lam kalima is dropped and we get yanha to make it majzoom. So yanhaya, yanhaw, tanha, tanhaya, yanhaina, tanha, tanhaya, tanhaw, tanhay, tanhaya, tanhaina, anha, nanha. Then we come to fi'al al-amr, which is a command verb. So here tanha, tanhay, tanha changes to inha. Here the last ya is dropped, the lam kalima, and the first letter is also dropped to make it fi'l al-amr. So it's starting with a sukun, the first letter, which is not possible. So we add a hamzatul wasl and make it inha. Inha, inhaya, inhaw, inhay, inhaya, inhayna. So now let's go into some changes in Mu'tal Lam and Naqis. Again, when the last root letter is a weak letter, here it is Ya. So the verb that we are looking at is Nasiya, Yansa, in Bab Samia, which means to forget. So Nasiya, he forgot. So here there are no changes. Notice that whenever the Ain Kalima has got a kasara, it does not change. Nasiya, they both forgot. Nasu, they all forgot. So Nasu here goes through some changes where Nasiya plus wa with a sukun. So the original lam kalima is dropped and we cannot have a kasra before sakin. So therefore it changes to a dhamma and we get Nasu. Nasiyat, Nasiyat, she forgot. Nasiyata, they both forgot. Nasina, they all forgot. Female. Nasita, you forgot. Male. Nasituma, you both forgot. Female. Nasitum, you all forgot. Female. Nasiti, you forgot. Female. Nasituma, you both forgot. Female. Nasitun, you all forgot. Female. Nasitu, I forgot. Nasina, we forgot. Then we have fi'l al-mudari, the present tense. In the marfu form, we have yansa. So here it goes through some changes. So the original word is yansayu. So here the lam kalima, the dhamma on the lam kalima here is dropped and we get yansa. The ya is changed with another ya. So he forgot. Sorry, he forgets. Then we have he is forgetting or he forgets. So yan sayani, they both forget. So this also goes through some changes where yan sayu plus alif plus noon. Here the original lam kalima reappears again and we get yan sayani. Then we have yan saun, which means they all forgot. So yan sauna also goes through some changes. We have yan sayu, wow with a sakin plus a na. So here the ya, the lam kalima here is dropped and we get yansawna. Then we have tansa, she forgets. Tansayani, they both forget, female. Yansaina, they all forget, female. Tansa, you forget, male. Tansayani, you both forget, male. Tansawna, you all forget, male. Tansaina, you forget, female. Tansayani, you both forget. Female. Tansaina, you all forget. Female. Ansa, I forget. Nansa, we forget. Then when we come to the mansoob form, we get yansa. Yansa here, the lam kalima does not get fatha. So we do not pronounce it as yansaya, we pronounce it as yan. Then we have yansaya, yansau, tansa, tansaya, yansaina, tansa, tansaya, tansau, tansa, tansaya, tansaina, ansa, and nansa. Then when we go to the majzoom form, we get yansa. So yansa again goes through some changes. Here the lam kalima is dropped and we get yansa. Then we have yansaya, yansau, tansa, tansaya, yansaina, tansa, tansaya, tansau, tansay, tansaya, tansaina, ansa, and nansa. Then when we come to fi'l al-amr, we get insa. So from tansay, we have to drop the first letter and the lam kalima and we get insa. Then we have insaya, insau, insay, insaya, and insana. So we can go through this exercise, which is there in the Madinah Arabic book, which is located in page 111. So in this exercise, they want us to put the word yuridu according to the correct tense. They want us to fill in the blanks over here. The first one is mada blank ya ikhwan. So ya ikhwan means oh brothers, so which indicates that the subject is plural, it's masculine, and it's in second person. So the correct word would be mada turiduna ya ikhwan. What do you all want, oh brothers? Then the second one here is ukhti hadha al-qalam. So here ukhti is singular, feminine, and in third person. So the correct verb to be put here would be ukhti turidu hadha al-qalam. My sister wants this pen. And for number 3, we have aturidaina hadha al-majallata ya Layla, which is, do you want this magazine, Layla? So here it is in feminine and in second person. Then we have الصحيفة تريد أم مجلة يا سيدة. Do you want a newspaper or magazine, sir? The fifth one would be أنا أريد أشياء كثيرة من السوق. I want many things from the market. The sixth one would be ماذا تريدون يا إخواني. What do you all want, my brothers? Then on the seventh one, we have نحن نريد مصفا صغيرا. We want a small mushaf. The eighth one is the students want their notebooks. الطالب يريدون دفاترهم. The ninth one is المدرسات يريدن الطباشير. The teachers want the chalk. And the 10th one is المدير يريد قائمة أسماء الطالب. The director wants the list of student names.